Hey, it's been a long time since I've been on here. I'm just happy Father's Day if you're in my neck of the woods in the US. Today we celebrate Father's Day. I'm making some pies like I do every day. What am I saying? I make pies every day. I make pies for every Father's Day. So what am I making? Right now I'm making crust. And I put a half a cup of olive oil into my 4 cups of flour, and which is unusual. People don't usually use olive oil in a crust. This is my own creation here. You know, it's part olive oil, part butter. I don't use an all butter crust. It's just too much fat in there. I like to incorporate good fats into everything. So what kind of pie am I making? Rhubarb pie? I will add you. For sure. Hey. Making rhubarb pie, apple pie, and cherry pie this morning for Father's Day. Yep. Our cherries come from our tree in our backyard. So I'll just show you. I have to cook them first. Almost like a jam-like consistency. And that's what they're becoming. So they're very syrupy right now. They're getting thicker and thicker. You cook them in their own juices. So basically you pick them every year at this time. I froze them and they're already like de-seeded. There's no seeds in them or anything. I put like a cup of sugar and maybe a tablespoon of cornstarch in here. You let it simmer for about a good 45 minutes. So all my olive oil is incorporated. See, it just all goes in there and it becomes like it's hard to see on camera, but it's almost like a cornmeal kind of consistency. Hold on just a second. I mean, I can put this recipe on Instagram, but I actually have done this before. It's on my YouTube channel, the whole crust process of how to make it. So my butter is semi-cold. It's not like freezing cold. It's just right to the touch. So kind of just cutting that in. I know I could probably grate this in on a grater. I don't like doing that because then I gotta clean it. Then I gotta clean the grater, and I'm like, don't want to do that. So, where are you from? Who's ever on here? Where are you from? I'm from Pacific Northwest. That's where I'm from. And we're lucky we get sun today. It's actually sunny outside. Yes, so we'll do that. Let's see, I'll just take a mental note of your name here. Feely. I hope I pronounced that right. And I hope that my YouTube channel is viewed as well. There's lots of good recipes on there. Putting my butter in right now. It's 3/4 cup butter. Almost done cutting this. Wow, this is hard to cut in here. Whew. Hopefully more people. Is there anybody else out there? Not. Mix my cherries. I don't want them to burn. Squeeze it and it comes together. You're kind of there, so just blending it out a little bit more. I misplaced my book. I'm kind of guessing a little bit here, but I think it's too late. Just a little. There we go. Okay. So now put my Too much butter. Okay. I'm just gonna mix my eggs right in there. One. That's two. Hey, I'm making pie today. Making pie. Making my crust first, though. Rhubarb pie, cherry pie, and apple pie. Let's cut butter. I mean, I'm called olive oil mom chef for a reason. So I love olive oil, and I also like other oils, like avocado oil is excellent too. Which actually, to be honest, I haven't used that before in baking, so I ran out of olive oil today. We'll see if the avocado oil acts just as great. We'll see. I think this is fairly. Oops, I'm gonna spill out. That happened. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm not gonna go live with anybody right now because I'm like right in the middle of doing this right now. So, but I'll be happy to do that a little bit later. Okay, so there goes my vinegar right into the cup. 2 eggs, half a cup of cold water, 1 tablespoon of vinegar. Then I'm going to pour it into my flour, butter, olive oil flour mixture. Let's call it that. Okay, so now I'm going to mix this through. Make sure it's all wet by the cold water. Moisten everything in there. Once it's all moistened, you can kind of get your hands in there eventually. But, okay, so I'm bringing this together. Bringing it together. Make it into a nice crust here. I don't like to put this in a mixer, like an automatic mixer. I do have one though, but it's hard with crust. I'm good. How are you? You know, I don't, I hate having a messy area that I'm working with. It just drives me nuts. And then I have all this cleaning to do afterwards. So I'm like, no. Here's all the rhubarb. It's pre-cut and washed. It came right from my garden yesterday. Believe me, rhubarb is the hardest thing to clean. It's soaked for a while in water. You cut it up to about this size with rhubarb. This will probably make 1 pie. I mean, you know, I like a nice full pie. So I just put it all in there like that. Now I'm going to measure this out a little bit to see actually how much I have in here. How many cups do I have? So I'm making a rhubarb custard pie. My mom used to make, before I put the sugar in, it's 4 eggs in here. Then your cup of sugar, cup and 1/4 of sugar, cup and 1/4 sugar. Then it's a good heaping tablespoon of cornstarch. Then if you want to squeeze lemon on it, you can. I don't usually do that, but after I mix it all through, I put it in the pie crust. Then I put 2 beaten eggs on top, and that's what makes the custard part. A lot of baking, I guess. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's put our eggs in there. I'm just going to throw them right in. That's 1. Okay, if you guys remember, I said 4 eggs in the, oh my gosh, 4 eggs in the mixture. 1, 2, count with me. No, just kidding. 3. I've done this recipe so much that I have it memorized anyways, even if I don't have the recipe right in front of me. Okay, now let us just kind of mix that through. Wet all the rhubarb with it. These are very tart, very, very tart. So, you know, you want to make sure you have enough sweetness in there. It's reduced in size. Okay. Just a little more. I know, if you don't like sugar, don't make this. The last time I made this, it tasted like way too tart, so that's why I'm like kind of freaked out this time. Forget the cornstarch, because if you don't have cornstarch, well, it'll just fall apart when you cut into it. So here we go. This looks very well coated. Okay, so I'm going to put a tablespoon of cornstarch. They are right now on ice skating. Almost out of cornstarch. So I'm glad I got some more Instacart. One. And just a little bit more. Not a full, well, I think I better. It's quite a bit. I put extra sugar in here. You gotta have the balance. If you put extra sugar, you gotta put an extra spoon. I didn't put a heaping though the second time. And I made my pie crust with olive oil and butter, not all butter crust, which cuts down on the calories, but you know, rhubarb's very tarty, so I had to put a right amount of sugar in it so that you're not eating like a bitter beer face. You know, my other extra 2 eggs in here. Hi, making pie. Happy Father's Day, everybody. Making rhubarb custard pie, that is, which is the top of my pie. They will be, they will make the custard part of the pie. So this is my filling. Rhubarb, cup of sugar, cup and a fourth of sugar, tablespoon of cornstarch, and 4 eggs. Now, if you choose to put wide across, so put that right here, and let me get my mat. These on Amazon. I was like, yes. I'm like, why didn't I do this before? All these years I've been putting it directly onto the counter. And you know what's been happening? It sticks. Sticks to the counter. Scraping the flour off. I'm going to cut this into 4. And take 1 piece off. Boop, like that. Very nice consistency. And get my rolling pin here. Okay, something like get a little flour on my surface. Is that magical? Put my camera a little further back so you can see what I'm doing here. So this is a mat that I got off Amazon. Oh my god, it's made my life so much easier. So I have to go like directly onto the counter. I'm just with crust because it can rip easily. So here I go. Rolling. You want to make it nice and big because you're going to need the edges to put a top on your crust. So, this much so far. Ooh, looks like I need to put just a little bit more flour in here. I don't want it to, just to rub it around. Okay, like that. Okay. Okay, making it big so that I can put it on my. It should be big enough so that you can flip it over the sides of your, like it falls over the sides of this. What am I gonna do now? All right, so here we go. See, it falls over. That's what you want. It's like a drape. And then very carefully give it a little lax right here. A little more on that side. A little lax. And I'm kind of like forming it in, just pressing it in just a little bit into the bottom like that. Let me preheat my oven to 350. Now, rhubarb pie, I can never tell how long it really takes. if the top of your crust is a little firm and makes like a knocking sound, like it's firm, like it's not soft anymore, and is brown on top, it's probably done. But here we go. In here, I don't know if this is all gonna fit in here. If it doesn't, I'll roll out another pie thing for it. You know, I don't want it to overflow. But I gotta tell you guys, let me just show you something here. Right here, see that? That is what, oh my goodness, that is what caramelizes the sugary stuff. It caramelizes in the crust. I mean, in the crust, in the pie. And oh my gosh, it makes it so good. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to make one more rhubarb pie, which is fine. I don't want to overflow it. I don't want to push it down too much. Now butter. Just a couple of pats here. Okay, now the part that you don't want to miss, making the edges wet. Roll the top out. I want to roll out the top first so I'm ready, because when you wet the edges a little bit and you put the you want to be absolutely ready to put the top on like right away. So how you see how I'm kind of like wetting the sides. If you have a brush, I don't have a brush, you can just brush the sides with a little bit of moisture, water. Just tap water, you know, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so you see how big this is? It's like the continent of Australia. And I like thin crust. If you like thick crust, roll it out thicker. You know, it doesn't have to be, you know, thin. So if you just tuned in, I'm putting a top on my rhubarb pie. Okay, she left. Made a filling for it. Rhubarb pie. I wish I had people on here to see the results. Well, there goes my oven. Oop. This is the hard part, the edge. Ah! Trying to get that. Okay, now here's the magical part. I'm going to cut the edges before I put, you have to put little breathing tubes, what am I saying? Air vents is what I'm trying to say. Air vents into the top of your pie if you want it to breathe a little bit. Otherwise, you know what's going to happen? It's going to spill on the sides. You don't want that to happen. So here I go. I'm going to cut this, cutting the edge off like this. Like this. And there we go. Sorry, I had a really late night. I'm really tired. That's why I'm talking a lot of voices. I'm not crazy, I promise. So all these scraps, you know, you can make another pie at it. Sometimes I like to make pie galettes where like the top is open, like the pies that you see in France. A lot of open pies that are made there in Paris. So I'm going to put air vents. It's important for your pie to breathe. If you don't do this, it's just going to puff up. I mean, the top will get like huge. And it's just one of those reactions with dough. Okay, there you go. Oven for 40 minutes. I think, well, actually, I think with this one, I might just make a galette where the top is open. Let's do that, I think. Ooh, more flour. Now, the thing with crust is that the more that you use it and knead it, unfortunately, it becomes harder to deal with, to work with, like Play-Doh, you know. Trying to get this wide enough so that I can actually roll in the sides, because I don't want to put another top on this because I don't really have a huge amount of rhubarb here. So I mean, and once again, that's a way of cutting calories. You know, less dough, less calories. Yeah, my cherry pie mixture looks like. Okay, so now I'm going to just put it in my pie pan again. I like glass pie pans, but you can use the metal ones if you want to. I have a lot of those from my childhood, actually. I bought these glass ones like a year ago because the glass seems to easier to clean. This is about a 9-inch one here that I got. Okay, now I'm going to pour all that nice yummy goodness in there. I definitely want to scrape this out. So let me go get a spatula for that. I'll wash this spoon off, actually. Pies today. I'm scraping this out. See? All of that. I don't know if you guys can see it, but scrape, scrape, scrape. Scrape, scrape, scrape. Oh no. You know what? I just remembered. I forgot to put my eggs on top. Oh my lord. Well, I'll just do it on this one then. Oh, I knew I was forgetting something. I was like, I'm forgetting something. It'll still be good. It just will taste a little different. It won't taste like... Okay. So, there we go. This will taste more custardy, this one. And then, okay. Oops. Ah! The butter went flying for a minute there. Okay, there we go. At least I didn't forget the water on the sides. Okay, for this one, what I said I was going to do, I'm just going to fold it in like this. So that goes in. Let me just see if you guys can see better what I'm doing here. Okay, so I'm folding it in like this. So you see that edge right there? Well, I'm just going to kind of just crimp it together. My fingers like that. This side's a little short, so hopefully that won't spill over. Try to crimp it together as much as I can. And this one, crimp, crimp, crimp. Crimp, crimp. Crimp, crimp. And then the shorter side, once again, let me put just an extra piece here of this little patch there of dough so that it doesn't. Okay, so here, there we go. See? So it's just, yeah. Ah! Let's spill out. Oh, don't do that, please, don't. No. I'm going to put just a little bit more. Okay, so just tuned in. This is my cherry pie filling that I made myself. These cherries come from my cherry tree. Every June, reason. Well, I definitely need a liquor for this one. And I take all the pits out. Oh my lord. This looks so good. This is the syrupy stuff that is going to be so good in the pie. I did it my way. This liquidy stuff, I might take a little bit of that off. Or it might like come together a little bit more as it cools down. So this is my cherry pie filling made with my own cherries from the backyard. Yep. Let's keep at it. Let's roll some more dough as that cools down. Next one will be cherry pie. Happy Father's Day, Dad. Yeah, today's Father's Day. Putting this in my pan now. Around. So I just kind of cinch that into the sides like that. And my cherries are